If you are still struggling with believing that meditation can be a really, really powerful healing tool, one of the reasons why this happens is because you may not fully understand all the aspects, all the benefits of meditation. So the reason I'm recording this video is to bring up a summary of what I have learned so far about how powerful meditation is. So the first thing that I would like to say is faith is a key ingredient in healing, and understanding its ancient roots and scientific validation can profoundly deepen your trust in the process. If you are using any sort of tool for healing that you are not 100% convinced it's going to heal you, you are working against yourself. We heal ourselves, and the tool that we are using, no matter what it is, it can be meditation, it can be diet, it can be thinking positive thoughts, it can be anything that you're applying in terms to heal. If you don't have 100% faith that this is going to make a difference in your healing journey, you are sabotaging the whole process. So let's start from the beginning. Meditation is one of the oldest spiritual practices. It dates back thousands of years in traditions such as Buddhism, Hinduism. People have been using meditation for spiritual healing, alignment with the divine for centuries, thousands of years. And all the teachings emphasize that meditation is a tool to align the mind, the body, the spirit, in order to cultivate balance and health. And people have been using meditation for healing with absolutely fantastic results for a very, very long time. And then for some time we kind of disconnected from the wisdom about, that we can heal ourselves. All of this has been somehow forgotten and hasn't been used the way it should. And now the science is catching up, and people like Dr. Joe Dispenza spend a lot of time and energy in showing scientifically that all of this is extremely powerful. So if you've been studying Dr. Joe Dispenza for a decent amount of time, you know a lot. You probably have read the books, you've watched the videos, you've seen the testimonials, but for some reason, if you still feel stuck, there may be some sort of doubt that it's going to work for you, some sort of doubt that maybe you are not doing it correctly, or any sort of limiting belief that makes you think that there is something missing, there is something, because if you've been doing it for a long time and you can't see the results, yes, sometimes healing can take longer, but generally it will happen as soon as you allow yourself to heal. So the faith and the belief and the trust in healing needs to be there 100%. Well, everything we know from Dr. Joe's teachings, when you change your brain waves, you change your energy, and then you change your energy, you change your life. The reason we find meditation so powerful, and we could look at it from two aspects. One is the scientific, biological element. We know from Dr. Joe's teachings that meditations take you into a relaxed state where you enter the parasympathetic state, where the body has the chance to rebalance itself, because as we know, any sort of state of imbalance, be it physical or emotional, causes incoherence in the body, incoherence in our field, and as a result of that, we get sick. So by going into meditation, you are allowing yourself to bring back the coherence into your body. And that's the main thing that spoke to me when I started my meditation practice before my healing. I basically knew that the amount of imbalance that I have created in my life, in my body, in my energy, through all the experiences that I've gone through, all the difficult situations, trauma, etc., etc., this obviously must have massively dysregulated my body. So for me, this was the main factor, the main thing about the meditation that I have learned from Dr. Joe's books that spoke to me and basically made me fully believe that if I allow myself to be in this coherent state for an extended period of time, there is no way for me not to heal. So the coherence. The second one is creating brain and heart coherence. So as we know, brain and heart create electromagnetic field around our body. The heart center is even more powerful than the brain. But when they work in an aligned way, they create an aligned and harmonious field, electromagnetic field in our body. So by creating this alignment and correcting any sort of disharmony in our field, we are introducing balance and harmony in the whole body. And this was the second thing that kind of spoke to me. When I learned about brain and heart coherence and how powerful it is, I knew that this was on top of me being relaxed and allowing the body to just rebalance itself. I knew that this element to do with coherence in the field was extremely powerful. And on top of that, as Dr. Joe Dispenza explains, when you create this brain and heart coherence and then you place an elevated emotion in this field, such as the feeling of perfect health, freedom, joy, happiness, love, when you place those emotions into this coherent field that you have created around yourself through meditation, this is sent as a powerful message into the unified field, the quantum field. And it is such a clear, powerful signal to the field, like a very clear vibration. And as we know, what we send out, we receive based on the law of vibration. When you create such a coherent message and send it out into the field, you are speeding up the whole process. You're working with the quantum field on an energetic, vibrational level, doing the quantum healing for yourself, using the unlimited possibilities of the quantum field to deliver the vibration that you are sending off and match this vibration. So you're sending off the elevated vibrations and you are then receiving an amplified amount of them from the quantum field. So this was just like a complete game changer, eye opener for me. Like when I heard about this, it was like, Jesus, like that's something to really apply. It was like, okay, so it's just my job to bring myself into this coherent state, create this coherence around my body and send this powerful signal. Connect to those emotions in a really profound way. Feel them with every cell of my being. And then it's going to be such a massive ripple effect in the field that there is no way for my body, for any sort of imbalance that has been going on in my body, to not be affected by this ripple effect. That's going to be just like a wave of really profound, positive, coherent energy that's going to be sent back to me. So the brain and heart coherence was the third major factor. Now the next one was meditation is not only about detaching from the stress and bringing the coherence and calming down the nervous system and connecting with the field. It's also going within, and like Dr. Joe says, meditation means know thyself. Like we get to know ourselves. In a meditation, in this quiet space, we give ourselves this opportunity to go within. And once we do this, the body will start whispering what is going on, what is actually causing the problem, the condition, it's gonna start giving us hints, images, thoughts. Some emotions will start coming up so that we can actually start releasing any sort of density, trauma, trapped emotions from our body. And for me, for example, this started happening on the second night of my meditation. But I was meditating for like day and night, and then it started on the second night. And when this started, I could feel that there was a lot of dense energy, lots of trauma, lots of things that I thought I had dealt with long time ago, but this energy was still there, never processed, never released properly. And one of the ways meditation made me acknowledge this, see this, understand this, was when I was blessing my energy centers and I would get to the heart center, solar plexus, heart center. That was usually when I would start feeling extremely emotional. Some memories, some images from the past would come up really, really painfully, because that was my way of the way my body was telling me that those emotions were stuck in those parts of my body. So very often I would, at this point, leave focusing on the meditation, on the guidance, and I would just focus on those emotions, those situations. I would just allow myself to feel them properly and then release them, cry them out. And I truly believe, I still believe that this release that happened, it was really profound, was one of the key elements in my healing. I believe that if it wasn't for that, I would not have healed so quickly. And I cried and I cried and I sobbed. And it was all due to meditation. This meditative state allowed me to go deep enough to feel this, to just start releasing this. And it was definitely a thing that needed to happen in order for me to heal. So the one thing that I usually say to people when I coach them is, because people think that they just have to stay in elevated emotions, and that's what Dr. Joe usually explains, that he, the more you focus on elevated emotions, but also part of this process is releasing the negativity, releasing the trauma, releasing the trapped emotions, releasing the past, letting go of the past. So this is what usually happens in meditations. And although Dr. Joe Dispenza maybe doesn't spend that much time in his teachings about it, talking about it, he doesn't put too much emphasis on the release and the emotional release in his teachings. He is well aware that this is part of the process, because he can witness this definitely on all retreats that he runs. People have enormous emotional releases. They scream and cry and shout and have all sorts of responses to meditating for, and in an environment where the energy is really elevated and this darkness is basically being pushed out and needs to be released. So that's another thing that I emphasize about meditation. So it helps you in this emotional release. It helps you bring balance to your body. And the last thing that I would say, it allows you to connect with a higher power. And we feel so disconnected when we are just focused on the physical reality, on everything that's going on within us and around us. And meditation is this portal where we connect with our higher self, we connect with the higher intelligence, we are able to reach higher levels of consciousness and the wisdom that usually is not available to us when we are focused on 3D reality. So in order to understand how powerful we are and how divine we are, meditation seems to be the most powerful bridge, like a portal, to connect with our divinity, to connect with the the power that we have within us that we are not aware of, that we can't feel. And it's only when we enter meditation and we connect and we open up to this connection and we build it slowly, slowly, more and more with each meditation, we start receiving guidance. We start, you may start seeing things, hearing things, feeling things. And it doesn't have to be an extremely profound, you don't have to necessarily see specific, entities or angels, or it doesn't have to be a really profound mystical experience, but it can be gentle nudges, gentle thoughts that will appear in your mind, and they will be enough for you to know what needs to be done for you to heal. That was exactly my experience. I started seeing visions. I started hearing proper guidance what to do in order to heal myself. So it's opening up to this, I would say, connection with the divine, establishing the relationship with the divine, and showing that we trust, and also at the same time allowing this divine intelligence to help us in this healing process. Because like I said in many of my videos before, we are not supposed to do this ourselves. We are not supposed to control it. We are not supposed to just keep meditating and hoping that it's all down to us, and at the same time doubting if we are doing it correctly. It's all about opening up to the unlimited possibilities that are there in the quantum field, and also building trust in the high intelligence that we are part of, and knowing that the more we connect, the more we raise our vibration, which happens in the meditation because we connect to higher states of consciousness, which automatically lifts our vibration. This is how we open up to true healing. This is how we open up to the possibility of instantaneous, miraculous healing. And for some people it happens sooner, for some people it takes longer. But if you still find it difficult and you don't see the results that you would like to see, it would be good to ask yourself questions like, what do I really expect from meditation? Why do I believe it's so powerful? Do I believe in one or two of the aspects of meditation more than others? Which of the aspects of, the meditation as a tool speaks to me the most? Is it the connection with the divine? Is it the more physical aspect that my body is simply given this opportunity to go back to balance? Am I hoping to experience something magical, some sort of profound mystical experience, and I haven't seen it, so I believe it's not working? That's another one that I see a lot. Do I go into meditation still trying to control the process, not going deep enough, not allowing myself to relax enough in the meditation, because I try to follow every single word, and if I drift away, I believe it's not working, and I have missed something in the meditation. And well, when I was doing my meditation marathon, I drifted away in a lot of my meditations, and these were the best ones. And I believe that something magical always happened during those periods when I wasn't aware. And I truly believe that this is when we enter deeper states of consciousness and just really slow brainwaves like theta. And we are almost asleep, but we are not. Because I remember I would always come back. Most meditations, I would always come back just before. Or I would drift away at some specific, for example, centers, energy centers, and then I would come back. So there is nothing wrong with you going deeper and allowing yourself to truly relax. And actually, this is how it should be done. You shouldn't be too relaxed. You should not have this intention to almost fall asleep, but you should not be scared to control and be fully present, because then you may not be slowing down your brain enough for the body to enter the healing state. So that's my suggestion. So healing powers of meditation. This would be the summary, really. Find this one thing about meditation that speaks to you the most and stick to it and truly believe it. Don't try to fool yourself thinking that you believe, because, try to really be serious with yourself. Do I truly believe that it's going to work for me? And if you don't, try to challenge any sort of doubt, any sort of disbelief, any sort of, try to recognize those limiting beliefs, those subconscious blocks that may be still affecting your progress. And look into, really see, are you creating this brain and heart coherence? It's quite easy to recognize when you really create brain and heart coherence in a meditation. And it doesn't have to happen in every meditation, but when I do this, when this happens to me, I can feel this expansion in my chest, and almost like the rhythm of my heart is slightly different. It's almost like the heart center starts beating with its own rhythm, which is different to my regular heartbeat. It's far more expanded. It's far more, in a way, slower. And when I would catch myself being in this state, it almost feels like it's independent of me, like I can't influence it. It's just doing its movement on its own. So this is how I recognize this brain and heart coherence myself. So check if you are in those states. Check and ask yourself, am I really getting into the deep states of meditation? Or am I trying to follow too much? How many intrusive thoughts or any sort of thoughts do I get during meditations? And if you keep fighting with your thoughts, and if you keep wandering off with your thoughts, that might be one of the reasons why you are not fully present and you are not completely detached from the outside. And the mental chatter may be in the way of you really entering proper meditative state. So try to examine any of the limiting beliefs and things that I've just mentioned. And this might really bring profound changes into your meditative practice, because it's really important to fully believe in the practice that you dedicate your so much time, so much of your energy, to really be sure that you trust this practice 100%, that you don't have any doubt, that you don't overanalyze it, that you don't honestly sabotage your process by thinking, this is wrong, try to really, obviously it takes time to become better at meditation, but really understanding that every time you go into meditation, no matter how well or how badly it went, as Dr. Joe says, there is no such thing as bad meditation. It's about trying to understand that no matter what happens, you always believe that you have received benefits of your meditation session every single time. And if you still struggle with understanding, even though you have read a lot, you have seen and read and heard a lot, if you still struggle with believing that this practice is enough for you to heal, you can either read more, just educate yourself more and bring more facts, things that your subconscious mind is not going to be able to reject, and just find reasons to believe in this practice more than you do now. Keep reading, keep educating yourself. Almost every single spiritual teacher that I've been following for the past more than 2 years now, since my awakening, I have not heard of anyone who would say something like, oh, meditation doesn't matter. Oh, it's not that important. Because it is an extremely, extremely powerful tool for healing, for manifesting things in life, for connection with the divine, for spiritual awakening. It's definitely the most powerful practice, spiritual practice that you may engage in.